Hi, I'm Ava from Part of Your World, and I'm going to teach you how to make a banner at home. I craft and design banners, and until recently, I sent them through the mail. I'm going to start offering some digital downloads because we're all stuck at home right now because of COVID-19. We're all sheltering in place, except we're not calling that. We're calling it stay home, stay safe, whatever. So anyway, I'm going to teach you what you can do to make your kids' day special. My son turned 6 9 days after school's closed. His birthday party got canceled, well, rescheduled indefinitely. And so I luckily have some crafting skills. So I made him a banner and I personalized it for him. I made him a Pac-Man banner. He loves Pac-Man. And I hung it while he was sleeping. So he woke up and it was still an exciting day. And I thought to myself, there's going to be a lot of kids this is happening to. I hope April 30th is the end of it. I don't think that we're going to be having big parties for the foreseeable future. So this is probably going to come in handy for a while. So if you have just a couple supplies, you can make a pretty decent banner. If you have no supplies, we can still make a banner. So I'm going to show you two versions of this. One is with just a couple supplies that you probably have laying around. And the other one is if all you have is printer paper and tape, pretty much. Okay, so the first version is if you have some like decent not heavyweight even, heavier weight cardstock or paper for your printer. So this is just 32-pound premium printer paper that I have. Now you would have bought a digital download from my shop, hopefully, but others are fine. It's not going to be the same tutorial though. So let's say you bought this unicorn banner from Part of Your World. You get that all printed out. You print all your pages. I will personalize it for you if you'd like, but that takes a little while longer. So the first sheet you're going to get is this one. It's blank, but this is actually going to be your template that you use. So you print that out. You get yourself some paper, some kind of colored paper. My kids' construction paper. I have a whole room full of cardstock. I'm not going to use that because you don't have a whole room full of cardstock. Okay. And then other tools you're going to need are some scissors. I'm not even using my fancy scissors because you don't have fancy scissors. I'm using regular scissors that aren't the sharpest tool in the box. I have a hole punch. You might have that. I don't know. I feel like this is something that some people have in some drawer somewhere, so I'm including that. A glue stick. Some string. You could use yarn. You could use, I'm sure you have some kind of string. Ribbon. Ribbon's a little harder to weave it just because you kind of have to make it all flat. Any kind of string will work. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut one of these bad boys out. And when you cut, don't close your scissors all the way. There's a pro tip for you because it kind of rips it at the end. Here, I'll show you. I don't know if I can show you. So if you go like this, right here, it kind of rips it. So what I like to do is I like to cut things into smaller sections before I cut them perfectly. And then cut your your 3 straight sides first. See, again, cut that little piece off there. And this is kind of like driving. When you cut, you kind of look through the line. You know how when you're taking a curve, you're supposed to like look through to the other side where you want to go? That's how you cut too. So when you cut the bottom flag, you go just a little past that line, the point in the middle here, just a tiny bit, so that when you go and cut the other side, it falls out. Okay, so you cut all those pieces. That's recycling. Then you use your hole punch. So if you don't have a hole punch, don't do this part. At the end, I'll show you what to do if you don't have a hole punch. Oh, you need a marker of some kind. Okay. So then you're going to take this. Got yourself a template. Okay. You put this down here. Get your pen. This is actually an erasable pen. Just in case. I'm sure you don't have an erasable pen at home, but that's fine. All you have to do is flip this over. You don't have to worry about the lines. So you're gonna trace it. Once. Trace it again. And what you could do too is tape this down in one area so it doesn't move, or on the back. I mean, I'm a pro, so I'm just holding it down and tracing it carefully. Okay. So there's your template. Now what you could do is, if you want every single one to be perfect, you might want to keep tracing it. Or you can get 3 stacks of paper. I think 3 is the max. Keep it together. Cut along the lines on the top one. Keep it together. See how I'm like pinching this side? I'm not letting it move or shift at all. Now you go a little bit past the edge there so that when you come from the other side, pops right out. Okay. Put your holes. Okay, so see this one, you still kind of can see the lines. That's the back. And look, you have these perfect little cards here. Okay, so let's say you do that. Happy birthday has 13 letters in it, and then there's an image for each side, so that's another 4, so 17. So we need 17 of these. I'm not going to do that part. We'll do that later. We'll put it all together later. Okay, so then the next part is, now this is assuming that you have some kind of colored cardstock, okay? So then you're going to cut one of your letters. So here's what you're going to do. Since you have this pink background in real life, you don't need the digital part. So you're going to cut out just the letter. I put all of my scraps in a paper bag, and then when it's full, I close the paper bag, fold it over, and I write paper scraps on the outside, and then put it in the recycling bin. Somebody somewhere said that to me. I read it or something. Said that's how you're supposed to recycle scraps, because otherwise it's not worth it to the recycler sometimes. Okay. Do one more just to show you here. Assuming you don't have a mat like me, throw them under a book. Just make sure the book has a cover so nothing, just in case you get stuck or something. Okay, so I'm going to let those sit for a sec. The other option to do this is if you don't have any colored cardstock and you just have heavy paper, just cut it like this. Cut it straight from your download. It's heavy enough that, like, I mean, I'm assuming these things are indoors right now, but you can go outside in your backyard. It's heavy enough. If you really wanted, what you could do is just use the same paper and kind of do a template in white and put it on the back. Just glue it together so it's a little bit heavier. But that's not necessary. I mean, it's not going to last forever, but it will definitely make a memory that lasts forever. So you can cut each one of your flags like that. If you have a paper cutter, by chance, you can do a couple at a time. I can never get this perfectly to the edge. Honestly, it's better for me just to cut it. I think if you have a scan and cut machine, you could use that. I'm not familiar with that, so I cannot offer any advice. You cannot cut these with a Cricut, because this is not a Cricut file or SVG file. Okay, this part you have to cut by hand no matter what. You can cut them all at once. It won't be as neat, but it'll be faster. Here's the thing. Your kids, they're gonna love it. It doesn't have to be perfect for them to love it. It doesn't have to be perfect for them to have a great day. It does not have to be perfect for them to have a wonderful memory from their birthday, even if it was one of the craziest times in human history. So look, we got a bunch of those cut out quick. Okay, once you got everything cut, you're gonna lay it out and measure. So, I got cupcakes. The cupcakes and unicorns go at either end. And this is set up to be 2 rows. So happy on the top, birthday on the bottom. I'm just going through and putting the letters in order. Happy birthday. Ooh, that edge did not come out good. That's what happens when you rush. We'll put that up there at the end. That's fixable though. Can't decide if I want to put cupcakes at each end or a cupcake and a unicorn. I'm gonna do cupcakes at each end. Birth. Now, ideally, you want to make sure you're spreading this out the whole way, because that will help you measure your string or ribbon or yarn or whatever it is you can come up with. You can make it work. Okay, this part's pretty easy. I'm short, and I can still do this without getting up. You hold one end of your string, you pull it out to the full length of your flags, and then I add at least a foot on each side. Depends on where you're going to hang it. I would think about where you're going to hang this first. You might need more. Also, make sure you have enough yarn or string or whatever it is you're using when deciding where you're going to hang it. Okay. And then to string the banner, you go from the top through the bottom, bottom to top. Put your finger in between the flag and the string. And then pull it through till it's about a foot, that extra foot. Don't pull it too hard because you could rip that construction paper and or printer paper, whatever you used. Okay, in and out. So, and you want to make sure there's a little bit of space in between each flag, so that, because see if they're like this and they're going to kind of touch. So you put a little bit of space right there. They touch just a little bit. I don't know, I like the way that looks. Okay, I'm going to do this quickly. Folding. I usually start from the front because I'm packaging these and sending them out. You don't have to do that. You fold up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up to pick it up. Gentle. That one's done. And then when you open it, boom, 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 slowly, so it doesn't get turned. Look at that. You totally could have just made that. So, let me fold it again. See, every other. So, as you can see, this is one of the flags where I used the paper backing. You can see the lines over here, but you can't see it on the front. And this is just the printed, and it's about the same weight. This has a little bit more heft to it and like a little more dimension, but still looks great either way. That one, I'll do that one off camera. So let's pretend you have like no supplies. All you have is your printer, your standard printer paper, scissors. You need scissors. There's no getting around that. Hopefully you have some kind of glue. If you don't have glue, we can do this with tape if absolutely necessary. So you've got your scissors, regular printer paper, and you're gonna need something sharp. That's it. You don't have a hole punch, you need string. You still need string no matter what. I mean, technically, if you really wanted to, you could just like tape them on the wall or something, but that's extreme, but you could still do it. I bet your kid would still love it. So this time, you just have basic printer paper, okay? You're going to print 2 copies. Now, keep in mind, that's going to use a lot of ink. Hopefully, you're not using too much ink right now. I don't know. If you're working at home, you're probably not printing a lot. Everything's digital. So let's assume you have ink, too. So I guess that's 4 things. Printer paper, ink, scissors, string. Something sharp. 5. Whatever. Okay, these you want to cut exactly the same because you're basically just going to turn this into a double layer. If you really, really want, just print this once and then use white paper on the back. Because your paper might be thin, I feel like if you print it twice, you'll get like more saturation. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm learning this too. I am just trying to make sure all these little kids have some sort of memory of their special day, a good memory of their special day, even if they're home. And let's say you do host a Zoom party, or you're on Facebook, you're doing a Facebook Live or a group chat, something like that. For the time being, I'm going to sell mirror banners. I think when this flips around, this is going to look mirrored, but while I'm recording it, it's actually spelled the right way. So I will include mirror banners for the time being. So that way you can send a copy to, your kid's best friend or your grandparents, the kid's grandparents, your parents, whoever, and they can hang one up too, so that when they see them, it says happy birthday, Ava or Leo or whoever it is. I think they'll really love that. I thought that was a good idea. Okay, so you've cut these the same. You glue them together. And I'll show you if you don't have glue. We'll make it happen, man. We will make it happen. So glue these exactly together. Now, keep in mind that printer paper is very thin. So this is going to be a little bumpy. So you gotta smooth it out. Okay. Double layer. Put it under something heavy. That's definitely gonna need something heavy to make it flat. Okay, now we're pretending you don't even have glue. That happens. And you can still, I've been doing my grocery shopping at Target because that way I'm already there. If there's other stuff that I need, like glue, I grab that too. I'm not putting anybody else in any more danger. I'm certainly not putting myself in any more danger as long as I'm not touching my darn face. So if you plan this in advance and you do your grocery shopping at Target one week and you are like, oh, my kid's birthday is next week, you can certainly pick up a glue stick, some string. I don't know if they have hole punches, but they might. Or you can even do, I know that Joann's in my area is doing curbside pickup, so you can order online. Our Michael's is not doing any kind of curbside pickup. They're closed for the time being. I think that's true for Hobby Lobby. I'm from Connecticut, by the way. I think we're the second or third state to close the schools. So we've been home for a long time. Okay, so this is if you don't have a hole punch or glue. So, all you have is tape, right? You're going to take a little piece of tape and you're going to put it, You take a little piece of tape and put your pieces together, put it over. So you're trying to tape it together and you're also supposed to cover the holes. Okay, smooth it out. Maybe I wouldn't do too much because it's hard to align. Just enough to kind of keep it together. And give it a little heft at the bottom so it doesn't just flit all over the place. Okay. See? I got it taped together. Then you take something sharp. If you don't have a X-Acto knife, what is this called? Razor? Whatever. A steak knife? Yeah. So, watch your fingers. You put one hole, or stab it once one way, stab it once the other way. Same thing on the other side. Watch your fingers. Stab it once vertically, once horizontally. And then take a pen or a pencil. And then take a pencil and poke it through a little bit. So you have a little hole. See? And then same thing as the other way. You put all these pieces together and then you string it. And you got yourself a banner. And you did it all yourself. And your kid will have a very happy birthday. I guarantee you. My child, he was very upset. He was very worried that it was going to be a bad day. And then he had the best day. We made it special for him. And you can do that for your kids too. I really hope you do. And there's always something to celebrate.